Okay, guys, we have Shaundalyn Elliott here from Support Services, and she's going to address some information, give you guys some information and address some of the questions you guys had regarding Title IV.
Good morning. Oh, certainly we can do better than that. Good morning to you. I am the infamous Shaundalyn Elliott, infamous from the perspective of your concerns relevant to Title IV. Now, Dr. Killingsworth is a rare entity of a person in that she could call me on a moment's notice, and have me to arrive. And that's what happened this morning. So we were in the middle of another meeting. I left to come to see what I needed to do to allay your concerns here. So let me begin by saying this. One of the questions happened to have, I guess, warranted some form of a response behind it. And the question indicated about simplifying the process of the Title IV application. Now, I don't know if we'll have time to show this at this point, but we may. What I brought with me electronically is the actual application that we use when we review your application. Why am I showing you this? I want to manage your expectations. Number one, there are multiple parts to the application for Title IV. I am aware of the fact that this is a part of a consolidation where all of the titles are housed in one, and the approval is incumbent upon your receiving your money. Let me go on ahead and let you know this. We want you to have your money. I know that it appears that it is the polar opposite, but we have no desire to refrain from getting you that money. Can we be collective and let you know? We want you to have what? Your money. That money does not belong to us. It belongs to whom? You. And we're going to make sure that you get it. So direct your eyes up here. Let me show you something quickly. All right. Presently, there are three of us who are in the office, and the three of us have the responsibility of monitoring and of approving or denying, in some instances, the applications that you submit, okay? With three individuals, we're responsible for the entire state of Alabama. Let me tell you this, there are some changes that are underway. Many of you are much more apprised of working with Ayanna Long. She just retired. That was one of the places that I just left in trying to conduct the celebration, so we're multiplying different things to do in one time. I'm going to remain, Dr. Erica Butler is going to remain, but the hope is also that there will be some additional help that will be employed. The timeline I cannot specify to you because I don't know myself. With that being the case, we solicit your patience, although we understand you've gone over and beyond with being patient with us, and we want to tell you thank you for that. Let's have a discussion about the elephant in the room, and that is that return process. Inasmuch as it is grievous to you to see it return, it's grievous to me to have to return. In an ideal world, I would like to be able to submit, approve, and have the release, but there are some specifics that are really important, and this is why I've brought this documentation with me today. All right, so this is in-house. You don't have this, you won't receive this unless you were at probably Federal Programs Conference, I think last year. We met in one of the rooms upstairs, and I brought the copy, and I disseminated the copy without permission. And so, at any rate, I wanted you to know then what I want you to know now, and that is what we have to actually do when we review this application. So take a look. At the top, all we do is highlight your budget amount. Well, then we determine for us internally whether it is over $30,000 or under. There are certain stipulations, and you know that, and you know why we must know. There are certain requirements as a result. Also, some of the other things that we take a look at, we calculate individually every single dollar amount based on the 20%, the 15%, and the 2%. We break each one of those down. Here's where the problem comes in. This part is the easy part, what I'm showing you right now. If you could scroll up just a little bit. The application details page is easy, but you know what is not easy and what is frustrating? When we get to the part about application details page and that page is not done. That is going to cause your application to be what? Returned, all right? See, that's an easy dynamic that we can avoid. So the one thing I want to admonish you in kindness is to please make sure that you highlight every aspect of focus in that application. As minimal, as minute as this particular section may seem, it is still a part to the whole in the approval process. So please don't skip over it. Are we together on that? We have several applications where individuals will have started the application details portion, but they will not have completed it. As we scroll down, the bottom is blank. What's going to happen to the application? It's going to be all right, now we're together on that. Now, what I have to do next, when we go to your budget, we itemize every single thing that you say is going to be an expenditure. And we do so in tandem with the 3 categories. For example, with the well-rounded, with safe and healthy, and with effective use of technology. If you write down 15 things that you're going to utilize as an expenditure for well-rounded, I am writing down 15 things. And each of those, we go back and we recalculate. And if anything is left off, if anything has a miscalculation, we'll have to go back to you, and the application is going to be what? Returned. Now, what I'm not going to have a lot of time to do today is to go through the rules with you, but most of you are veterans and not novices, so you understand when I speak about rules, what is allowable as an expense and under which category. So that's what I'm speaking about. More often than not, under this section, the more common error that takes place is that there will be an expenditure written under well-rounded that is designed specifically and only for safe and healthy. All right? Effective use of technology can almost be creatively worked to make it applicable. I'm not guiding you, but I'm helping you. Do you understand? All right? But the 2 that we really can't negotiate on happens to be with well-rounded and safe and healthy. So if the expenditures are mixed up, for example, you should be utilizing that money for a safe and healthy initiative as opposed to well-rounded, what's going to happen to your application? It's coming back, beloved. And it may come back 5 times, and it may come back 1 time, and it may come back 3 times. But just know that each time that it leaves my desk, my heart is grieved. And each time it comes back to you, your heart is grieved. We're together on this because we want you to have what? Your money. All right, scroll up just a little bit. Let's see. Take a look. Do the Title IV Advisory Committee sign-in sheets include all required signatures? Please take a look at this. Some of the easy rationales as to why it has to be returned. There is no superintendent's assurance page that is signed. I mean, it's a page there, but no one has seen it according to our eyes because no one has signed it. In that case, what's going to happen to the application? It's returned. Absolutely. All right? Now, what about the goals and objectives? I really want to talk about that and the needs assessment, and here's why. Go back just a little bit up to the top where we have the budget itemization. See that? Whatever you put under well-rounded as an expenditure on your budget, scroll up just a little bit. I must be able to see, not the other way, baby. Go the other way, beloved. Good, right there. I have to be able to see that same thing on goals and objectives, and I have to be able to see that same thing on your needs assessment. If you have that you're going to purchase STEM materials under well-rounded for $40,000 on your budget, but when I open up your needs assessment, I can find nothing that looks like STEM. On your goals and objective page, nothing mentions STEM. What's going to happen to your application? It's coming back to you. It is going to be returned. Are we together on that? So when I do TA, I always just say this. Make sure that there's a mirror between your budget and a mirror between your budget and your goals and objectives. Make sure there's a mirror between your budget and your needs assessment. They need to reflect one another. As you know, with that needs assessment, it's itemized in the same capacity that your budget is. So your focus area will still be outlined. Here's another reason why your application will be returned. Say, for example, the STEM materials are under well-rounded, but you've just decided to place it under safe and healthy. What's going to happen now? Your application is going to be what? All right, so make sure it is a mirror. Can we just make a decision on that today? Can we make sure that this is a mirror image? Whatever I have under my budget needs to reflect the exact same way on my needs assessment and on my goals and objectives page, with one caveat that I have to float. Of course, not everybody has to complete a needs assessment. Who would not have to? Oh, I can't hear you. Applications that are what? Under 30,000. So I wouldn't be looking for anything from you regarding a needs assessment. But if your application is one that's over, I am in fact looking for that. All right? All right, scroll back up just a little bit. We talked about the other way, beloved. We talked about the assurances. We explained the importance of the needs assessment, the importance of the goals and objectives. Now, at the very bottom, this portion, do you see where it says carryover expenditure amount? Does everybody see that? We're using the same piece of paper that we started in August, okay? So don't worry about the condition that it's in by the time we get back to look at it. However, we choose not to have a new sheet because we need to keep all of the information together and current. Let me tell you about your carryover. Please, there's no need to make a request for the release of your carryover funds if your initial application has not been approved. Okay, so let's not put the cart before the horse. Let's take care. And calls and emails like, well, Shaundalyn, our carryover money is just out there. You're right, beloved. It sure is. And the reason why is because the first application has not been approved just yet. And so as soon as we cross this bridge, we'll be able to cross that one. All right? So let me tell you this. We see the same thing that you see on the screen. We know the same thing that you know. Emails like, Shaundalyn, I just submitted the corrections. Please take a look. Are the same emails I'm going to get from LaDonna and from Eric to say, Shaundalyn, it is available. Listen, all three of us, we all see this at the same time. So the only thing you really need to do is just submit it. Okay? And I promise you, we will get to you as quickly as we possibly can. There is no direct way for me to tell you the timeline that we're going to respond. Now, we have an internal window within. And, of course, that was based on having 3 people. Can you imagine how that window is about to change with 2? Okay? Our hope is that by August 1st, things will start to look up for us, okay, in terms of some comrades who will be trained and be boots on the ground and be prepared to be able to move at a much more expeditious fashion. But again, I only came today to manage your expectations, to let you know you are not ignored. You are at the apex of our focus more than you know. And the reason why is because with you being a part of a consolidation, we do not delight in having our friends in federal programs frustrated with us because we are the last leg of the race who cannot pass the baton. We want you to have your what? That's your money, all right? So we really want to make sure that you have it. This is what I'm going to take a risk to do today because I don't have the time to dedicate to you individually the time that you deserve. I'm going to ask you to do something very risky. Okay, are you on board? Oh, only a few of you. I'm not sure. I'm not inclined to do it now. Is there anybody else who might be on board to do something risky today? It feels a little bit better. Well, perhaps I'll just relent. I'll just go away. But if there's, okay, I'll tell you. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Because we can't have an open dialogue, and because there are some changes that are taking place in our section, would you kindly, if I provide you with my email address right now, would you send all of your questions directly to me with this title only? I'm not going to open it if it doesn't have this title. Are we together on that? Okay. I'm not going to open it. All right. But the reason why is because I'm going to take these questions, and when we have our next meeting next Wednesday concerning matters pertaining to Title IV, I'm going to collect all of your questions and say, these are the questions that are being asked. And when I see questions that are repeated, I will say, this is an area that warrants immediate focus. Are we together on that? All right. This is the subheading. If it doesn't have this, am I going to open it? No, I can't. All right, all right, all right. So it's very simple, though. I just want you to say Title IV Inquiry. Title IV Inquiry. And put today's date. Can you do that? Title IV Inquiry. And the only reason why I have not stated today's date is because I don't know it. But maybe you know it. All right. What is today? Great. Thanks. Title IV Inquiry 4/25/24. I know what that means. That's a code for me, okay? So that when we open up these questions, the ones that I see repeated are going to be priority. I will see them all. I want to make sure you understand that and have time between now and next Tuesday to compile them so we can make an educated decision on how we can support you, expedite the approval process. But I want you to know that's not a one-dimensional deal. That's dual, because I've let you see some of the common pitfalls that we encounter that delay us from approving the application. But I really, really want to make sure the small things complete the whole application. When you start the application details page, finish it. Make sure that your superintendent signs the assurances page. That's very important. Make sure that your expenditures are in tandem with the focus area. Make sure that it's allowed. Make sure that if your application is over $30,000, you have completed a needs assessment. Make sure that there's a goals and objectives page. Make sure that there's a mirror between your budget and your needs assessment, if that's applicable, and a mirror between your budget and your goals and objectives page. Are we together on that? If we can cross those bridges, I guarantee you that much of the return process will be diffused, because just the common things, and it's not an indictment against anybody, any of us with the multiple responsibilities that we have and the millions of hats that we wear, we'll start the application, the phone will ring, and we think we finished it, move on to the next. I understand more than you would ever believe. I understand. And in closing, it takes us about 1 hour and 45 minutes to dedicate to each one of your applications. Every last, look at yourselves, look around, look around. 1 hour and 45 minutes, with one exception. The ones that are transferred, when your funds are transferred, doesn't take much time, because all I'm looking for then is the fact that you have indicated the rationale, you've met with your advisory councils to support your transfer, and that with that being the case, you also have documentation to support your meeting. After that, that's maybe 20, 25 minutes. But the other ones that I have to go through and we have to go through, that's a very lengthy process. So we're not ignoring you. We're not ignoring you. We can't do anything with your money, beloved. So we're not holding it on purpose. We want you to have it, and we're going to make sure that you have it. And so be on the lookout. On the sunny side of things, there are some major improvements that are coming, and I promise you, you will be pleased. At Mega, like we usually convene a meeting, we're going to do that again. It's not going to look the exact same, because you're going to see some of what you were unable to hear today reflected there. And there, you can get into the weeds of some of your questions, and we can not only answer them, we can take your suggestions. Be on the lookout for your email. Some of you will be a part of a focus group where you will come together to aid us in helping us to see how best to assist, and some of you will be located throughout the region as points of contact to provide assistance. This mirrors an advisory council on steroids, but there will be more information that will be provided, okay? All right, well, listen, thank you for not throwing tomatoes at me, and thank you for having patience with us. I promise you, more than you know, you are at the center of our focus, and things are looking up. They're going to get better. We solicit your patience, all right? What's our subheading? Because I'm not going to open it if it doesn't say there. All right, all right. And so by what day of the week are we going to come together and meet? We're going, not you all and me, but my team and myself, we're going to meet what day next week? Wednesday. So that if that means if Wednesday afternoon you send me an email that says it, is it too late?